mom is the one that started that damn club, and all because she's a big, fat, stupid bitch. Don't say it, Cartman. Don't do it, Cartman. I'm warning you. Okay. I'm getting pretty sick of him calling me.
Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bash.
Okay, Summerslam happened. That was interesting, right?
Also very, very long.
It was
Very.
a show.
Well,
I was about to pass out the entire time.
why they think having it 6 hours is a good idea? Oh.
Okay, so we got like a 2-hour pre-show, and that had some matches in it, and then we had the 4-hour main show, but it had some overrun. And it's like, yeah, let's have overrun.
Yeah, because that's all you need on a 6-hour show.
I struggle to stay awake myself.
I mean, I barely did
How
it.
much pizza did you have, Rocky?
Too much pizza.
But
Not
SummerSlam's here. I got my big glass of juice, and let's fight this bitch.
Yeah. Okay. So, it should be important to note that the venue, as it were, had some issues. The Barclays Center had some issues with getting people into the building.
Didn't they also have takeover at the Barclays Center, but that just ran normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all at the Barclays Center for the whole week.
So,
This is like a common thing with the big four pay-per-views nowadays, that they get issues getting people in, so you end up with like a pre-show full of empty seats.
I can't remember this.
No, this is the first.
No, it's not.
It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's not the first.
WrestleMania in Dallas
had bad. It was bad.
I don't
the
remember
one where
that.
Ryback versus Kalisto performed in front of an empty crowd.
Yep.
Which sounds about right for a Ryback match, but
I honestly, this is supposed to be like a culmination of the brand splits into like one big combined pay-per-view, and they do that like 2 to 4 times a year. But this just shows that the presentation is just really flawed. You can't just super glue the 2 pay-per-views together
and expect it to work.
Yeah.
Be some sort of flow from one match to another.
Or at least do it like a day 1, day 2 thing. That'd be fine.
It doesn't need to be 6 hours of David Otunga.
Oh god.
Yeah, what they should do, and
the Vince McMahon climax.
My idea is that
Muscles.
Yeah, that main event definitely. That main event describes that pretty well.
Pretty
what
much.
they should do, what I think they should do is move Takeover to Friday, and then do like the pay-per-view, like the big 4, like over Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a great idea.
That's a good idea.
And it
Because-
would also allow them to have their match.
Big shiny titties.
I would think.
It would be
So, yeah.
You could sell more tickets that way. It would be better financially for that.
I was gonna say,
The Miz participated in a tag team match with a grand total attendance of 5.
Yeah,
It was more than
nobody
that.
told us that this was an empty arena match.
There were some people in there, but there were a lot of empty seats.
Especially in the front.
legitimately like 50 people, because there was people in there as it was happening, like tweeting about it and showing pictures while it was going on, and it was.
I did make the joke when Jeff Hardy came down the ramp and he does the high-fiving people because he's a face thing. After he high-fived like all the people in the front row, I just imagined Jeff Hardy was like, yeah, that was all the people.
Jeff Hardy not fitting the color scheme at all, god damn it.
Yeah.
Of skin color?
No,
wait.
of
I mean, if you compare that to that picture of Jason Jordan, who looks like he's pretending to be the wall in the background. But
no, like, because Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan were both wearing green, but Jeff Hardy's all black.
Oh, let's mention that Bo Dallas had a much better outfit this time that he did at Battleground.
whatever it looked like.
Jacket.
It was like some sort of... Like a kind of gold jacket thing.
This match is pretty harmless, though I do have to comment. Jason Jordan pretty much contributed nothing to it.
Yeah, he's not really getting over well on Raw. Like, it's taking a while.
No, he did contribute. He ate the pin.
It's a contribution.
He contributed to throwing people, throwing people around.
And ripping off his little thing.
Like, it would be an uphill battle for anyone to get the Kurt Angle's son gimmick over.
Yeah.
But Jason Jordan just does not have the charisma to back it up.
That's why he needed Gable, because he works
That's
a
why
lot
he needs
better.
Gable. That's why Gable could have done better with the Kurt Angle's son gimmick.
Yeah,
Well,
he's got the charisma
now he
to
has
pull it off.
now he has Shelton Benjamin, despite the fact I think Shelton Benjamin said he wanted a singles run.
It's a start. Eventually, it'll probably lead to a split where they fight each other. So it's fine.
Well, yeah, they're a tag team in WWE, so they can't stay together. But
Yeah.
Maybe he could team up with Jericho as his "I'm going to feud with Jericho" run.
I am the gold standard.
I'm the best in the world.
Well, this does definitively prove that Kofi is not Shelton.
True.
Yes. So
I can't think of anything to say.
My highlight of this match is immediately after the match is over. Miz goes to celebrate, or has his "in-your-face, I'm still champion" moment.
Oh my God! They would go to the social
walks
media
to the
guy.
crowd, and he's walking in front of the WWE social media guy and no one else.
And then immediately cut away. It's like, fuck, cut.
Kevin Dunn was a little slow pushing that off on, maybe because his big fucking teeth got.
They're pretty fucking big.
That is some monumental teeth we've got right here.
Oh, man.
The reason I say that like Bo Dallas's outfit was better was because like his outfit didn't fit like the rest of the theme. Of the
Mr. Dunn, Raw's on in 5.
Probably.
Seems accurate.
Not even mouth noises, it's just hissing.
Oh, I thought that was him snorting a line of coke.
That's what I was thinking too.
I mean, probably.
I can't. Okay.
Well, that was a spot-on impression, is what I was about to say. Like, that is, if I had my eyes closed, I would imagine you were Kevin Dunn right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God!
It doesn't sound like me at all.
God damn it, Kevin Dunn, get out of here. We're busy.
We're busy talking shit about you. Stop.
So, yeah, this match was just kind of there, and it really didn't have.
It just felt like, shit, we need these guys on the show. Let's put them on the pre-show.
It just didn't help that people were still filing in, while it was going on. But that was on the Barclays Center. It wasn't on WWE.
Open your gate half an hour early.
Yeah, they let people in as the pre-show started.
And I remember
That
they
makes
had this
sense.
fucking, like, drone helicopter view outside. It's like, look at all the people filing into this Barclays Center. And I'm just like, because you won't let them in.
Yeah.
The line isn't moving, by the way.
It's not moving in the slightest.
You think they'd be filing in? No, they were just standing awkwardly in the parking lot.
Just waiting.
Just fucking waiting.
So we go from that match to
Pretty good match.
Yeah.
Akira
pretty
Tozawa versus,
match.
excuse me, Neville versus Akira Tozawa. Tozawa is the champion.
Yes.
Yes, Tozawa won on the previous Raw and had this massive celebration with Titus, and they were like, "Ew, Titus Worldwide!" And now
he lost
the
it.
rematch.
So
And the reign lasts 6 days.
apparently this was a decision that Vince just kind of randomly made, and it fucked with the whole storyline.
That's Vince in a nutshell for you.
I mean, why not have
It's a
Tozawa?
shame. Like, this is the first time I've actually gotten to see Tozawa do like.
He's not bad.
He's a really solid wrestler.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good. I'm like, I think part of the reason is because I lot of us, including myself, don't have the patience to watch the show week. We'll watch the highlights maybe, and nobody has the patience to watch 205 live.
All right, give me a second. I gotta do my
In
Vince
addition to the
impression.
other weekly wrestling.
205 Live's actually a solid show, though. That's the sad part.
That's the bug eye Japanese
Yeah,
duck
I'm
get a
sure it is.
victory on
The
Raw.
problem
It'll
is
be great.
Nobody wants to watch.
It just seems like they wanted the title change to make Raw feel more dynamic, but it fucked the pay-per-view up.
Damn it. Damn it, I
did.
just did my Vince impression before you gave me the setup for it.
I can also see why they would have Neville win, though, because he really legitimizes the championship.
Legitimizes?
You know what I mean.
He really needs to be on the pay-per-view, though.
Yeah, he should be.
I mean, absolutely. This is not the first time where they had dynamic matches on the pre-show instead of the main show.
It's not like they have a match that that happened on the main show that could have been moved to the pre-show because it was a non-title match and a nonsense feud.
Because this is the same thing that happened during WrestleMania, where the second best match of the night was on the pre-show. The cruiserweight match was on the pre-show versus on the main show.
Like, it wasn't my favorite cruiserweight title match, but it was good enough to be on the fucking main show.
Agreed. It was very solid.
They went the distance. There was like fucking drama, intensity, all that shit.
Yeah, it definitely could have replaced a lot of the shit that happens.
But
If people wouldn't have missed it.
We gotta legitimize the
ladies and
belt.
gentlemen who happen to be listening to the show, because this is the first of a lot of several matches where either the wrong person goes over or just bad finishes in general. And compared to NXT,
Nobody's
which only
watching.
had one finish that was just odd.
Like,
It just feels like they just wrote themselves into a corner and weren't sure how to schedule this. I just feel really bad for the crowd.
Yeah.
Really hope they got some
That's
potty
the problem
breaks.
is it's like you said, the writers don't know. It's the writers. They don't know how to write for wrestling, and then they write it themselves in the corner.
The writers aren't determining the finishes of matches.
And then in NXT doesn't have that. Like they keep it simple. Keep it simple.
It has a brevity to it, where it's just like this episode of NXT has 2 matches, but they're really good, so you'll watch them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Versus
I can live
we're
with
gonna
that.
pack everything. Versus we're going to pack every single match we could possibly can, within an hour. That doesn't happen.
And I think another problem is like WWE needs to actually look at certain matches and realize this match night might not be good in terms of like or at least worth putting on like a special event / pay-per-view and just shuffle it over to Raw or SmackDown.
We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this match, what it was solid, but it could have been on the main show for sure.
Speaking of should have been on the main show, the fucking first tag team title match between New Day and the Usos, which was really fucking good.
Best match of the night.
One of the, yeah.
One of them, yeah.
Absolutely one of them. The chemistry these two have had since the Usos went heel is just dynamic.
I mean, there is an underlying problem with the tag team division, especially they're on SmackDown, right? Yeah, SmackDown.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they have plenty of tag teams, but none of them are legitimate, so we're kind of watching the same feud kind of go on over the titles. Even though the matches are good, it's just kind of, how many more times could they do this,
Right.
Yeah.
The problem is like they have other tag teams who just refuse to use them.
Well, I wouldn't say that about SmackDown as much, because if you notice, they're starting to build up. They did the Breezango thing, and they built them up, and they're still using them even after the feud with, the Usos, and then they're doing stuff with the Ascension. So it's a slow climb, but they are getting there, I think, at a better rate than maybe Raw, or at least at a steady pace.
Yeah.
Vince has a problem with breaking up tag teams. I don't
I-
understand. What
He
it
has
is.
a thing against tag teams. I don't know what it is, but he's so wishy-washy on it. Like one week he'll be all for pushing them, then the next week he just wants to break them all. It's just I don't understand it.
What are you talking about? Jason Jordan's a dynamic star. He doesn't need Chad Gable slowing him down. Put him on Raw. Make him Kurt's son.
Don't worry, we'll just give him another black guy to tag team with. No one will notice.
Damn it, Vince, we're busy. Get out of here.
So
Get over here, Jason Jordan. My name's Shelton,
Get rid
sir.
of me, you can't kill me.
after a really good match, the Usos win back the tag team titles they won on Battleground.
Yeah, that took a month. Woohoo.
50-50 booking. Thanks WWE.
I mean,
Well, I
if you look
mean,
at
the trend that WWE tends to do is like one wrestler will win on SmackDown, and then the other wrestler will win on the pay-per-view.
yeah.
That's not really like winning per pay-per-view is not really 50-50 booking. There's 4 weeks of
that's what happened.
There's 4 weeks of wrestling shows between that, Rocktan. I hope you understand.
True, but it feels like it's still too soon for them to change the titles back.
I don't think so because it really continues the feud and lets them continue to build up what's already been really good.
And if there was like a 3-month immunity when you win the title where you can't lose it, I kind of feel like it'd be more
That'd get
predictable.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would get boring really quickly because you would, you know what's going to happen.
A month is fine. 5 days isn't.
Yeah, exactly. A month gives you plenty of time to still work with stuff. That's still 4 weeks of different things you can do. So I have no problem with it.
The Usos winning is fine. The whole Neville Tozawa thing, yeah, that's too soon.
Yeah.
Although to be fair to the Neville Tozawa thing, it just goes to show the kind of heel that Neville has become and the dominant personality he's had. Because look how long it took for him to lose in a singles match, you know?
Right. Well, if they were gonna have, here's something that I want to expand on is that it's like, if they were gonna have Tozawa a babyface win, do you think they should have done it on SummerSlam?
I mean, they could have to have a big moment, but I do like the spontaneity of someone winning a title on the main show too, because that leaves you. Yeah, it leaves you like I have to watch, weekly because I don't know what's going to happen. I like that spontaneity.
Winning at SummerSlam doesn't pop the ratings, god damn it.
Damn it, Vance! I told you to get out of here.
You can't catch me. I'm covered. You can't catch me. I'm covered in oil.
Oh God, so much baby oil.
Speaking of baby oil,
Can't catch a greasy McMahon.
Not yet, Caxton. You're jumping the gun.
Okay, I'm jumping the gun. Never mind.
Not
Wait,
yet on the
David
baby oil.
Otunga
We
isn't on this show.
still have to talk about the panel talk that we.
Where do you think I got the oil from?
New Day and Usos, fantastic. It was a great match.
Yeah.
It really was.
Amazing.
Big E was absolutely the MVP of that match, by the way.
Oh my god, the
I don't know.
NXT win.
Xavier was the one who lifted his shoulders.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was madness.
Xavier is so underrated in terms of his wrestling skills versus his charisma.
Yeah.
He constantly gets overlooked.
David Otunga is so oily you could fry an egg in his chest.
Like most people think like typically the way it goes for most wrestlers is you're good in the ring or you're good on the mic. There are when you have the exception where it's they have good in-ring skill and good mic skill. Talking about the Miz. Talking about he's like the poster boy of that of the last year and a half. But having that together is just it creates for the perfect type of person that you want in WWE. It's great. I'm at a loss for words to accurately
Yeah.
describe.
But I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a great match.
Absolutely one of the best on the card, but bar none.
It wasn't a great match though.
All right, our next coming match when we actually got into the main show.
With a lot of fucking package videos. God.
Yeah. Usually we watch these and like the panel talks and everything. And apparently there was an Elias Sampson segment on this show.
We
But we
missed it.
skipped by it. Yeah, we skipped by it because it's 6 hours.
And it wasn't anything of note. I mean, it got him some heel heat, but it didn't really serve any purpose. Other than that.
I don't want to go.
Elias Sampson, I just want to say that when he came out on Raw and saying, that was the first time I think I've ever been happy in a long time to actually hear R-Truth's "What's Up" song.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Look at what you made me do, WWE. So, I don't want to go immediately back on the Cena train, but I'm kind of nervous that the Baron Corbin Cena match is sort of the return of what I call Troll Cena, where it's like, imagine like like the early 2010s, right? And it's the Cena who doesn't give a fuck, isn't serious, and goofs around when he's in a legitimate feud.
Oh, so when he was feuding with Bray Wyatt.
And it's just like, take this seriously, please. Like, come on. You're making him look like a joke.
Yeah, he was not taking Baron Corbin seriously at all.
Though, to be fair, given what we heard about the backstage shit with Baron Corbin, he might have been told to act that.
Apparently, he feuded with a member of the armed services on Twitter.
Corbin did, yeah.
And he shit on Dave Meltzer. But, so...
I didn't know Dave Meltzer was in the armed forces.
I mean, he has a lot of arm. Look at all those...
Right, the Dave Meltzer thing is almost forgivable because that's kind of part of the character. But when you start talking about the armed services, which is what the WWE...
Especially because WWE has a boner for that shit, like...
They do, but to be fair to Corbin, the dude said he was military later after the back and forth bullshit. It wasn't until Corbin, got, nailed him with, something that he's like, oh, no, I'm part of the army, can't do this shit. And Corbin apologized, so... It's not like he was an asshole,
He was just following kayfabe.
He was being kayfabe heel.
He was doing his gimmick.
Yeah, and he got in trouble for it.
And
go back to PWG.
And pretty much they brought back like the trolling Cena who just makes all his opponents seem like idiots.
And
as soon as he went outside and grabbed the hat,
He's also apparently getting heat for the match with Nakamura, and for apparently, although I missed his promos against Cena for them.
Anyways,
I'm gonna get shit for this, like in the online community if they see this, but I just don't understand why people still hate Corbin. Like, I hated him too when I just thought he was green as shit. But he got a character, he has a moveset now, and he has a personality. It's just now he's being written like shit, and that's not his fault.
That's not his fault at all.
It's basically what it seems like to me is like everyone's now on his case just because of the Nakamura match. Like, people were on his case before too. It's just but it seems like that match brought them all those people out of the work even more so.
It's just like it's weird because he's gotten better. I wouldn't say he's great because he's still a rookie in a lot of ways, like his match psychology and stuff. But he got better, and I have to admit that as a Baron Corbin hater, like when I first saw his stupid face.
Like, he's really starting to understand the little nuances of being a heel, the shit talking, the expressions, things like that. He's really picking up on that, and I really like that. It's not his fault if they book him terribly.
No,
he's doing his best.
No, he took his shirt off mid-match and showed off his sad tummy. It's like it just looks like a frown. I don't know.
The one thing is, like, this match was okay. It's just that Baron Corbin lost and it was and he didn't need to.
He lost in a bad fashion. If it had been more back and forth, been better, he would have looked better. But in this fashion, it didn't serve him any purpose.
That actually stuns me now that John Cena is now having passable, acceptable matches with people that are worse than him, which is just amazing. Like that Cena's gotten that good.
Also, I think he's growing his hair out for a movie or something. But
I think so, yeah.
Cena is carrying people that you wouldn't think you would have a good match to acceptable matches.
Absolutely. Like, that's the thing about
like his match with sorry to interrupt, but his match with Jinder Mahal was not bad. And Jinder Mahal, I'm sorry.
We will talk about
And-
Jinder
and
Mahal.
this
We'll get to that later.
This match just seems like Cena thought of mid-Carter, which sucks because he had the fucking Money in the Bank 1 week before the show. They got rid of that. They dumped his push out a fucking window and didn't give him a parachute. And now he was in like a special referee match on SmackDown, but that's kind of... They don't have any ideas for him.
I just have to ask, are they really giving it... it feels like most of the shit that they're directing at him is more... probably for the military, I guess, because I didn't hear about that. And probably for the bad match with Nakamura. I was like, he had one bad match. Are you fucking serious?
Cena's had dozens of bad matches. I can tell because we can watch old C shows.
Yes.
Fuck, I can name you one right now. Him
2
versus
years
John
in a row.
Laurinaitis.
Let's remind let's remember 2 years in a row. He had some of the worst matches in WrestleMania history against The Rock.
That was 2 years ago? I thought it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that
No,
was
2 years in a row.
No, you said 2 years in a row.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they were terrible.
they were pretty bad.
No. For what they were, I've seen definite worse. They, if you take away the fan response, then yeah, you could say they're terrible. But with the the fan response, that definitely elevated the match to passable.
I guess what I mean is in terms of a WrestleMania main event.
Oh, of course. In terms of main event, yeah, it was not great.
You could tell the first match with The Rock on WrestleMania, he did not have his cardio good at all, and he got really tired.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, you could be in shape, but you can absolutely not be in ring shape, and The Rock was not in ring shape.
Because stamina matters.
Yes, it does. Because look at people like Big Show, as big as he is, even before he got in better shape, he was in ring shape, so he could still get around despite how big he was.
Or at least until he got, like, really fat. He lost that now, but like if you look at like 2005 Big Show, damn.
Oh, I know. I'm saying after that, because he got I think Jericho like kicked him in the ass to tell him to get in ring shape or whatever, and then he worked on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match could have been better.
Another really bad Cena match. Cena Wyatt Steel Cage at Extreme Rules. Man.
But speaking of, I've lost my transition. Oh wait, my transition wouldn't have worked anyways.
Nope.
Were you about to go into Bray Wyatt because
I was about to go into Big Show, but I forgot.
He's gonna go into Big Show.
Oh my.
Yes. In other words, Big Show was challenging for the women's SmackDown championship.
Naomi versus Natalia.
I go into Big Show once a month.
Crawl inside Big Show.
For what it was worth, this match wasn't bad.
It was pretty good. I liked it, and I liked it.
Go ahead.
I admit I wish I knew where Natalia was coming from with the character, because it just seems like he's just like a slightly meaner version of default Natalia.
Can we talk about Naomi's sweet jacket?
She did have a sweet fucking jacket, didn't she?
Like,
She's got a really cool style.
One thing I know she's a cat person, but she needs to get rid of the kitty thing because like.
Hey, you do not get between a woman and her love of cats. She will fucking gnaw your teeth off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it doesn't work for the look of a heel, like for someone who's supposed to be a heel.
I disagree. I think if you're a good enough heel, Kenny.
Yeah, you can even make a piece of paper on a clipboard work.
Oh.
remember that Cody Rhodes used to walk
like
around
a
with
list,
paper bags?
maybe.
Yeah, like just like a scrolling, like list of people who may annoy you, even though you're the heel.
Or more.
And somehow everyone loves them.
The weird part was the finish of I did a sharpshooter. I broke out. Well, fine. I do another sharpshooter. And then Naomi was like, okay, fuck it. I quit.
You forgot Natalia's nasty bump into the turn.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
That was
She had she almost got whiplash, it looked like.
Oh, we also forgot Naomi's really nasty bump into the ring post.
Yeah,
There's a lot of faces hitting posts.
That
Yeah.
like, and then they cut it back to a different angle
It's
and
like
it looked
my
even more
house
ugly.
every Wednesday night. Except it's my face, no one else.
So on this little roller coaster ride, the start's fine. You know, you go up the hill and you go down and and then
We're kind of
you
on
hit
the up.
this. Then you hit this wall, and that wall is Big Show versus Big Cass
With
With-
Enzo in a shark cage.
hanging
at
above
that.
the ring.
No,
Because why not? Just
no. The
why?
real problem with this match is not the shark cage, and it's not even the the competitors. It's the other gimmick of this match.
Oh, on Raw, they kayfabe injured Big Show by slamming his hand in the cage door. So the whole time, all Big Show did was just like, ooh, ouchies, ooh, jeez, oh, my hand.
Yeah,
my
had
poor
Cass-
hurt hand.
They had Cass keep attacking the hand, and I'm sorry, like attacking the hand is just nobody. It's hard to get into. It's hard to get into to watching someone, attack someone's hand.
Well, if
he hurt his hand during the match and Big Cass was just like, oh, I'm gonna use that to my advantage, I'm gonna work the hand, I'd be like, psychology. But no, it was just, I hit his hand and then I kick his hand and then I hit his hand and Big Show's like, ow, owie.
Yeah, you have to do build up with it to sell it. If you just hit it,
if you want to see
Stop
good
it.
matches where people work the hand,
Oh,
watch a William Regal match. Watch
New
a Zack
Japan.
Sabre Jr.
And I think the thing I hated the most is like Big Show would
that
sometimes pull out a WMD as a comeback move and be like, oh, I punched with my bad hand. But it's like, you have two fucking hands, you big bitch. Punch with your other one. Use your other big fucking hand.
to be fair though, the other one's his dominant hand, so the other one, even in just kayfabe, doesn't have as much power.
So this
Actually,
match was
boxers.
painfully slow.
Yeah.
And it got even worse when Enzo took his pants off and covered himself in David Otunga's body oil. So he's got like heart boxers on and nothing else, and he slips out of the ring and gets on the floor, and then Big Cass kicks him in the face, and he's immediately knocked out.
The cage.
Yeah, out of the cage.
That's like the most appropriate response, though, from Big Cass.
And so just Enzo's laying there half naked on the floor covered in baby oil, and it's not the beginning of a comedy movie.
By the way,
And then he just beats Big Show.
Then he just beats Big Show, and it's even worse knowing that he's hurt now. It's
Yeah, all
like,
that,
I've never seen a feud that buried both superstars.
it was pretty hard to get through.
Like, Big Cass looks like he sucks, and Enzo looks like he can't back up anything he says.
Enzo looked completely buried because like not only did it's one thing he got the big move, but he laid there for like
He lay there for 5 minutes
yeah
in his underwear.
Which is 4 minutes too long. Damn it, Vince, get out of here.
It's like literally, it's like at some point should have started staggering up,
that goes
Yeah,
to his feet.
I
Maybe
get,
try
I
for a
get
low
you
blow.
want to, I get you want to sell the boot as being potent, but that was way too long. That just dragged it out way too far.
I have 2 points. One is what could have improved this match is if Enzo had a mic the whole time in the cage and
Come
was
on.
just taunting Big Cass.
Oh, that's what I
Like-
expected to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah.
No,
And
you
the
just
second
heard him
question
muttering.
And the second question is, if somebody in a shark cage, like a shark cage stipulation, escapes the shark cage, doesn't that qualify as a no contest?
I don't know. Though the big question is, or not the big question, but the thing I found out is, I think WWE started realizing that the big ass thing. So right when they zoom into Big Cass's face as he walking down the ramp, they sway the camera of just like, nope, he's not big ass, he's Big Cass, and it's like,
And of course, us being the people we are while watching that show, we said, we saw Big Ass.
Yeah, I think he eventually did like the finger point and it made the big ass happen.
no, he
again.
pointed his hand into the air and big ass. It's like-
Just like it. You can't stop it.
and he has another new theme, and it still sucks.
They're trying their best to package him, and it's just not working. Which I knew was going to happen, but Vince being Vince is so short-sighted.
So to add to this, on Raw, Big Cass and Enzo had a street fight where
I thought you said he had a stroke.
it wasn't even much. Like basically, it was this thing that Enzo was trying to use weapons, but like Cass wouldn't let him, so that wasn't starting with the match.
Oh my
honestly,
God.
it didn't-
There was a spot where he fell to the.
It sounds like a good idea, but it didn't lend itself really well.
Can we
to the
talk
match.
about SummerSlam?
Wait, it
Well, I
sounds
just
like a good idea. That's just basically Ambrose Lesnar at WrestleMania.
I just want to finish this because Big Cass got injured.
I said that in the middle of what I was explaining.
Yeah.
He got tossed up to the outside, landed awkwardly on his leg, got back in the ring, started to jump, like almost started to jump up to do his Empire.
His leg is
elbow,
injured,
but
we
then
get
his
it.
leg gave
Yes,
way.
that's what I said.
Yeah, we've
Alright,
already
so-
went over that point.
So
SummerSlam.
what I'm learning from this.
But
So Big Ass is injured. GG. Okay.
but what I wanted to say was, Ali said that he'd never seen a feud before that buried both people in it. I beg to differ. I say that I have seen that before. It's called Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler. And
Oh,
we
God.
get Rusev.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of,
or Ruru.
also before
Oh,
we,
Big Bartholomew
before we
didn't
continue
deserve
with
this.
Phantom Rusev did not deserve this.
Before we continue, I want to make a point here of a lesson I'm learning this year: is don't betray your friends, or you will suffer a horrible injury. It happened. It happened to Cass. It happened to Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
Don't betray your friends.
That's a, I did not think about that.
Yep, that is a good point.
But poor Ruru.
But the thing is, like, there was a justifiable reason, like, I don't agree with it, why Baron Corbin lost. What'd Rusev do? He didn't.
Absolutely nothing.
Say it
I think
again.
Officially, since Rusev has come back, I think Vince hates him at this point.
So, the match starts with, I think it's Orton goes into the ring first. Or, I mean, yeah. And then Rusev just ambushes him and they fight outside the ring for a bit. So, eventually they roll back into the ring. And, like, Rusev is like, ring the bell. And it does. And Orton's just kind of like, oh, my shoulder. And then Rusev walks up, RKO pin, Orton wins.
Wait.
Yeah, because Randy Orton really needed this win.
Oh, there was like an Irish whip into the corner or something, or whatever.
And I was saying this.
It made Rusev look retarded.
Oh god.
He looked like a joke for absolutely no reason.
Oh god, the flesh in the bottle.
Since coming back, they've made him look like a joke. And they've made him look like a joke before he came back.
And
But
now
He had a great match with Chad Gable.
and
Oh my god.
That was the one good point. That was the one good point. But like seriously, and I know I've said this, and I kind of like, said it in cases where maybe I shouldn't. But I'm sorry, in this case, like there are plenty of other places now that you can make money. Rusev needs to get out and get somewhere where he's treated properly. I'm sorry, get out of the WWE, Rusev. Please.
The kind of wrestler he is with that build, that style, and that charisma, he would go over so gigantic in so many places. New Japan would eat him up. They would love him. That's absolutely the perfect place, for someone like Rusev.
He could be another Bullet Club member.
Absolutely, he could.
Okay, so
or Suzuki-gun.
I'm trying to like justify the logic of why he lost in my own head. And, like, one of the things that makes me think, okay, so Orton spent 3 fucking months trying to get Jinder Mahal over, bless his soul, and they needed to give him some credibility back, so why couldn't this been a good match where Randy Orton and Rusev show off their skills and Randy Orton wins, eventually?
Yeah,
that would have been fine.
Better.
But no, they fucking bitched Rusev out. He's not even shown up yet on TV.
I got a thought.
Makes him look like shit.
Actually,
for no reason.
actually Rusev has been to promote the flag match. So.
Wait, what?
What?
What flag
Yeah,
match?
he was on the match.
What flag
he was
match?
to promote the flag match.
What
With
f-
John
Battleground.
Cena.
For Battleground.
Roxanne.
That's
that
not
was-
TV. That's pay-per-view.
I said after this match on TV.
Oh.
After SummerSlam, not.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Wake up! Okay, so this match is like the match from Battleground with
I'm paying
Mojo
attention
and Brock
to,
Lesnar.
like a lot of people are talking, and I'm not. No.
Like, it's the Battleground match between Samoa and Brock Lesnar, but worse somehow. And that was a low bar to set.
What?
Wait, what?
That match was good though.
What? The Brock
That match
Lesnar
was
Samoa Joe?
good. What the fuck?
Wait, Brock
great.
Lesnar Samoa Joe at Battleground?
Yes.
Yes.
The match was 2 minutes long.
No,
What?
it wasn't.
What are you talking
Wait,
about?
Brock's. Okay, wait. Brock Samoa Joe at Battleground, the one where like. Where
Mojo
fucking
beat him up for a
Where
while.
Samoa Joe beat him up and choked him out several times until the
And-
F5 match.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
mean
then-
Great Balls of Fire,
Great
not
Balls of
Battleground.
Fire. Wait.
The Great Balls
Oh.
of Fire match was a really good match. What are you talking about? And it
It
wasn't
could've-
short at all.
It could have.
It was 6
could've-
minutes.
It could have been better, without that sudden ending. But I mean, it was still a good match.
Yeah.
It was a decent match for what it was. Yes.
It made
And why are you bringing up Great Balls of Fire?
right. It made.
I was comparison between that match and Bruce Vorton. Shut up.
No, it's not like that match. at
It's
all.
not
No,
the same at
you
all.
can't compare them at all. This is a total
One-
squash.
See, Rusev
It's the
versus
abridged
Samoa
version
Joe.
of it.
Rusev versus Samoa Joe is what the Orton Rusev match should have been.
Rusev
versus
Samoa Joe?
Oh my god. And the Lesnar Joe match was what Orton Rusev should have been.
Absolutely.
Especially because Rusev seems like the nicest fucking dude backstage.
Well, Rusev,
He
exactly.
is.
Well, Rusev,
No,
Rusev,
Caxi, I want to live in your world where Rusev versus Samoa Joe happens.
that would be awesome.
That would be a great world.
Wait, if it was 6 minutes long, though, that would be a very disappointing match. Which is kind of my feelings on
But there was a
Lesnar.
beatdown. There was a huge beatdown beforehand, though. You have that. Rusev beats down Orton, and then proceeds to do all of his shit in the ring, kick after kick after kick, putting him in the accolade for a little
Percolator.
while. Basically exactly what Samoa Joe did to Lesnar, and then all of a sudden you have the RKO out of nowhere after like 7 minutes, 8 minutes in, and then it's a fairly good match because it puts, it actually, makes him Rusev look really strong instead of just, I'm gonna beat him down and then look retarded after the bell rings in it for KO.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better.
I disagree. The idea that Lesnar Joe was all that was great.
It was great.
It was.
He'll get a
It
better
wasn't.
match.
I'll fight you.
It wasn't a 5-star match, but it was good. It was good.
For what it was good.
I
Yes.
guess I have to wonder what it's going to take for Rusev.
It was the best that a 6
Remember when we reviewed that show?
Yes.
Move on.
Okay.
I just have to wonder what it's going to take.
Move on!
What mistreatment it's going to take for Rusev to have before he leaves.
Yeah. No one's gonna know until, eventually.
He's probably gonna maul the shit out of Vince first.
He could do it. Unless Vince is covered in the baby oil.
And if you argue with me that
You can't
Rusev's
catch
a really
me.
nice guy in real life, I'd also like to point out that there are quite a few really nice bears, but that doesn't mean if you fuck with a bear enough times, he's gonna stay
Rusev
passive.
somehow sneaks a tank into a Russian
Don't
tank
don't fuck bears.
into Vince's office, and not only and then a bear is waiting in the tank.
Rent a tank
Yeah,
but-
when you need tanks.
This is Comrade Bear.
But the problem is the shot bounces off Vince because all the baby oil.
Can't catch me.
I'd like to imagine Rusev just drove the tank from WrestleMania home.
Yes.
It was collecting dust in my front yard.
It's just in his garage.
Lana told me I need to move it, so I moved it to your house.
He does have a house big enough to hold a tank, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I need to look up his Georgia house real quick.
Yeah, I assume it's pretty big. All right, so we go from that to something better.
Yes.
The first hour or two of the official SummerSlam show was kind of sad.
Yeah.
It was very.
But we did have Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks, which was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was good. This is where you start ramping up, into SummerSlam. It was a good match.
It had zero story because it was supposed to be Bayley though, but can't stop injuries.
Was this the match where JoJo pretty much said "fuck your one fall shtick"? I'm just gonna keep going with my announcing.
Oh yeah, when it's for one fall and everyone shouts one fall because that's what they did.
She didn't even give them the pause. She was like, "No, fuck that."
That's what they did in ICW or whatever.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, you should give the pause. The guy in NXT does.
No.
Yes, it makes it more important.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
JoJo has several matches to announce. She's not playing your
good
shit.
match, except it has one particular problem that it probably only I might be the only one here who was
You are
by it, was the way that this match finished. And now Sasha Banks wins with the bank kick, which isn't the problem. It's when it happened that's the problem. She's been fighting to put the hold on for most of the match,
and never locked it in.
Constantly fighting the lock. She never fully locks it in until the very end, and then as soon as she locks it in fully, Alexa instantly taps. I'm like,
That's not what I saw.
That's not what I saw either, Rocktan.
Yeah.
With one hand, she grabs for the hold, tugs at it for a second, her grip slips, and then she taps.
That is not. I swear, I watched it. I even watched the replay. She was fighting.
That's not how it happened.
She was fighting it.
Fighting a submission will still hurt you, even if the submission's locked in. It's not a video game.
I'm not saying yes, it's realistic, but it took 5 seconds.
Yeah, because it fucking hurts.
Yeah, it's selling the submission as being a badass submission.
I just wanted a little bit. I just wish there was a.
It was a pretty good story.
It was fine.
I'm just saying,
she rolled out of the hold at one point.
For the first time she locked it in, I expected a bit of a little more dramatic tension before she actually,
The dramatic tension was the lead up to actually locking it.
It was fighting the submission.
Yeah, fighting it through the whole match all the way through till the very end.
Of it before Banks fully locked it in. That's perfectly fine. That's at least a little better than.
I hate when somebody immediately taps after getting to an hold.
Because it
hurts. No. I would agree with you if they hadn't been leading up to it. If it had been the first time she had done it, then yeah. But they had been building it up the whole
Didn't she
time,
try it
Didn't
she try it 3 times?
Yeah. Also, I'm fairly certain Banks worked like the necessary parts for putting in a
she did.
bank statement. Yeah, she worked the back and everything. When you work a body part enough times, it's gonna hurt. Rocktan, put it in video game terms, Alexa Bliss was in the red.
Yeah. And Alexa Bliss knew the potency of the move, which is why she had been fighting it through the whole match. Which is why she tapped when it finally got put in after all that.
The breaking point meter was at N. The second N.
The point.
At point.
That she would have struggled in the hold for a little bit longer before she tapped. That's all I was asking.
Like I said, I would agree if that had been the first time it had been done or even attempted, but it wasn't,
Like in old Rusev matches when he put on where he just throw him around a bit and then block in the accolade with no struggle and they tap. I hated those.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, that was dumb.
It's you didn't even work the back or fight out of the hold. It was just accolade. Win.
Yeah, whereas this had build up to the bank statement plus all the work Sasha had did throughout the match to lead up to the bank statement also. So, it made sense.
I'm just remembering that really cool bent over accolade he did that Rusev did to Kalisto. That was so nice.
I will say I'm very happy to see Sasha finally get the title back because, goddamn, she deserves a.
Well, especially a win at a pay-per-view. I think it's the first time she's won a title at a pay.
I hope she gets finally a decent run with it.
Wait,
She isn't trading the title back and forth with Bliss
Well,
she was.
She's won a title at a pay-per-view.
That was ridiculous.
to my recollection, she only won at Raw when she won the title against Charlotte, like with the Last Man Standing match and all that. Yeah.
Right.
I know, but they were trading the title back and forth so much. It was ridiculous.
It would be like Sasha would win it on Raw and then Charlotte.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Right. Else why Charlotte's pay-per-view streak wouldn't have been intact for Bayley to break it. Yeah, you're right.
It really did feel like they were just padding Charlotte's stats.
Oh, I know. I was just making the point of I'm glad that Sasha finally won at a pay-per-view because she had just won it at Raw up to this point. So good for her.
To be honest, I love the Charlotte and Sasha going back and forth.
I'm not against that one.
I liked it too.
I'm just wanting. I just hope she gets a run.
Yeah, I hope so too. It's very possible.
She deserves a run.
She does. She's very good.
Also, I just realized something. I completely forgot. Carmella did not do anything at this pay-per-view.
Nope, she didn't do shit.
They didn't even tease the cash-in, to my recollection.
Like, I think they showed her once watching the match and at the horrible
sideways TV
angle that I fucking hate. That no one actually watches.
I want to try watching TV like that. See what it's like. I feel like I might crane my neck.
Your neck would probably hurt really quickly.
You'd need to get cable back and then get an episode of Raw on and just watch. I could just
watch Netflix on my Xbox.
That works too.
I guess, but I just think it'd be funnier to watch Raw that way.
Mike, I just thought of something. I think they might actually be waiting to do the title change at SmackDown. Top the rating.
Maybe.
Or I'm thinking maybe the next pay-per-view. What they're saving it for, but we'll see.
James Ellsworth is gonna cash it in.
Vince, no! Vince, no! He's not a female.
First SmackDown Women's Champion, James Ellsworth.
The first SmackDown Women's Champion with a dick, maybe besides China.
He already was. He already is officially the first
China.
Women's Champion because of that one match.
What are you talking about, Al? China never held the SmackDown Women's Championship.
She will one day.
How big was China's dong?
He's the first.
Wait a minute. Didn't China have the IC title at one point?
Yeah. She feuded with Jericho.
That's really nice.
He's the first women's Money in the Bank winner.
He did grab the briefcase.
He did, but he wasn't in the match, so he didn't win it.
Well, they're 1 for 2 on fucked up cash-ins. I hope that stays that way. And we're not 2 for 2 for fucked up cash-ins.
Well, John Cena can't be involved in the women's title picture, so
he might if fucking the belt.
Watch his wife.
If Nikki Bella gets involved.
I was gonna say, if Nikki gets involved, he could still interfere to help her.
I'm still betting on James Ellsworth cashing in.
Cashing in for Carmella and doing all the work.
And getting the women's championship.
If anyone would do it, it would be him. I wouldn't put it past Vince.
Yeah, I would not put it past Vince at all.
He would totally do it in a heartbeat, just because he thinks it's funny. I mean, look at all the other shit that's gone over just because he thinks it's funny, despite no one else agreeing with it.
Remember that Cruiserweight title that ended with Hornswoggle?
Oh, God.
Well, yes, we're up on the high of the roller coaster.
Too much tangent.
And now we're about to hit a bit of a dip.
I was going to say, Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor have a contest to see who's the most spooky.
Too spooky.
I won't say that the match was bad. It's just
they could have done so much more.
It was a fun match. I'm going to give him that credit.
Well, also
it was a fine match, but it could have been so much. I just felt
this match was just kind of okay. I don't know why.
In terms of wrestling, it wasn't that great, but in terms of storytelling, I loved it because it continued that build of Bray Wyatt pushing Finn Balor, pushing him until he finally brought out the demon. But not only did he bring out the demon, he brought it out in such a way where it was, much angrier, much fiercer, much darker, and it even spooked Bray of all people, which, like I said, in storytelling terms, it was done so well. The wrestling itself could have been done better, but I get what they were going for with the demon.
I just loved hearing the commentary's explanation for this storyline of just Bray Wyatt is jealous of Finn Balor's spooky demon man, and he wants to beat him so he can be a spooky demon man, but Bray Wyatt is afraid, kind of, but Finn Balor is spooky, and he is going to beat up Bray Wyatt. Like,
there can only be
and I'm
one
just like,
spooky man.
Michael Cole, what the fuck are you talking about?
What I remember them saying is that Bray Wyatt is apparently jealous of Finn Balor's cult following.
It's like, I want fans too, and it's like, okay, Bray, start winning.
I genuinely...
Face fuck me, Bray.
Face fuck me, Bray. I need your...
It's the sign that JoJo apparently...
That's what I was gonna say. Is that what JoJo said?
I love your
Come on, you fat Rob Zombie. You gotta get that cult back.
I love your description of this your early description of this match, Ellie. Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt is a match between a guy who is in a club without a club, and Bray Wyatt, who is a cult leader without the cult.
Yeah.
So,
do something with Luke Harper.
So
seriously, please do.
So here's my yeah, seriously, what the fuck? Where is he? I remember when we were watching this match, we were watching the entrances. When Bray came out, I felt just this strange sadness looming over me of like, I remember when this was really cool when it first started showing up, and just like all these phones lit up, but now it's just kind of there, and I don't feel anything.
Yeah, because it's more now just people doing it just because they want to be a part of it.
Well, they
feel it.
They do a Minitron with it too, so it just feels like a shtick more than it feels like, oh shit, this is really special.
Exactly, like at first when that Raw after WrestleMania when the crowd was responding to Go and doing his dance, that was organic.
And then they tried to force it.
They tried to force it, and then it completely fell flat.
That's exactly the problem that WWE has, is whenever like they see something organic happen, and then they think and then they go, "Wow, that was really cool. Let's do it ourselves." But then doing it yourself comes forced. You just have to let it happen.
Yep, that's what NXT is a lot better at doing.
And another reason why I felt like just watching this entrance made me feel sad, because it reminded me that Bray Wyatt at some point had heat, he had momentum, he had a direction of where he was going.
In the beginning, he had everything going for him until the booking just...
But he's just been through the ringer of... I have yet to pick one feud I have actually thought of where he managed to come out on top. One. The Dean Ambrose feud.
Yeah. He came out on top, but he didn't look great out of it. Neither of them really did.
Yeah, every other feud he's had: Cena, Reigns, Orton.
Although I will, he didn't come out on top with the match the feud with Reigns, but he did have a great match with him.
But yeah, but every one of them, he was just put for the ringer to make other people look great, and it just, and it's hurt his his momentum, and it's hurt the drawing power he'd have.
He can recover from it, but it'll be hard because he's going through. He does. He's going through what Dean Ambrose went through before, getting spun around in circles with no clear direction of where you're going or winning or anything.
It just makes him. It just makes him look dumb.
It does, and he doesn't look fierce or dark or anything anymore. It's just kind of there, like spouting off the same stuff, and he's gonna lose after he spouts this stuff. So there's no heat there. There's just nothing. And sad.
So yeah, Finn Balor wins. I'll say it. This match was good wrestling. It wasn't like, knock down the world kind of stuff, but it was a good match.
It was a good Raw match.
Yeah, like I said, from a storytelling perspective, I really liked it. From a wrestling perspective, it could have been better, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah. But now that we've gone off this,
Finn Balor is the spooky.
Right back up. We're gonna go right back up because we've got a really good match. We got
we
got the Raw tag titles: Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
God damn, was this amazing!
One problem I have, and it goes back to entrances. The entrance they had for Dean and Seth, they should have just gone full Shield on it.
No.
Yes.
I agree. No.
Not yet.
Yes.
The Shield is not the Shield without all three of them. I will fight anybody on that.
You know what? No, I think maybe if Roman Reigns wins Steel Dean's Cheddar Biscuits, we could have had this.
They could have
So,
at least come
so
up
Roman
together.
is to blame.
No, I think it feels more organic that they have separate entrance musics. It's kind of the way that Sheamus and Cesaro initially built.
Exactly, because they had their separate first two and built up to an entrance together, which I think they're going to do with Ambrose and Rollins, which is fine.
They'll eventually do it. It's just that
you don't do it right away.
they just won the tag titles. They're just now rekindling their relationship.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
You want to have a big thing like that for SummerSlam.
Well, they already
I
had a
seriously
big
want.
thing.
I seriously want Dean or Roman to turn on them.
It might happen down the line. I mean, I don't. You know, I'm the biggest Shield fangirl in the world.
I know, but I want.
In terms of wrestling, it'll be amazing because the chemistry between all three of them is great.
Well, first of all, Dean hasn't been heel since the Shield breakup, and
yeah, he'll be the one to go heel.
Heel Dean is best Dean.
Absolutely.
And Roman
doesn't call anymore.
Roman doesn't call anymore.
Roman's the heel here.
Yeah, he took the biscuit.
Yeah, he ate Dean's Cheddar Biscuits. What an asshole!
I don't remember that story.
It was during an interview.
Yeah, it was during an interview recently.
I do remember Roman defending Dean's honor to Renee as a dancer.
Boing.
Yeah, apparently the reason why Roman won't join them in the Shield is because he is.
Yep. So Dean's not talking to him. But yeah, in terms of entrances, I'm absolutely fine with having separate entrances for now. Because it just goes to show the continuing build of their slowly repairing relationship after 3 years of huge hostilities. Like, Reigns had hostility against Rollins, but nowhere near as much as Ambrose did with Rollins. So there's a lot of stuff there that still has to be bridged and repaired. Ambrose is not, quick to trust. So, it's give and take.
So when can we read your fic on Archive of Our Own Phoenix? Of this?
So the match is pretty good for the most part. I really liked it. I'm not doing anything. Shut up.
No, yeah. I said something.
Yeah.
Second best match in the night, or possibly best.
What do you mean you're not doing anything?
I did it.
The crowd's doing it.
Yeah. It's hard to argue which is the best of the night.
If the crowd was doing it, Cesaro would be ripping it up right now.
Yeah. Well, he can't do anything. He's a still image. Yeah. Fuck you, Cesaro.
Like in terms.
You want the best
shit.
Of this show. The tag matches are where it's at.
Absolutely. Like in terms of even outside of the wrestling match itself, which was fucking amazing, just the story perspective of Ambrose and Rollins teaming together again would make it my favorite. It's hard to argue.
I really do hope they stop doing the fucking beach ball shit, because there's fucking 5 of them now.
Apparently, they're, from what I heard, they're banning beach balls. So.
Thank fuck.
Yeah.
I still think it was perfect. It was perfect that Cesaro jumped out there and tore it.
I think
that was a great heel.
The people love that moment.
By the way, what a fucking turnaround on Sheamus of just being super interesting again.
Yeah, being with Cesaro is the best thing that could have happened to him. He's got all that charisma he's been needing for years, and then some.
I'm going to steal something from.
Let's let Rob talk.
Yeah, let Rob talk. He's trying to say something.
I'm going to steal something from from Squared Circle right now, but the best idea to get rid of the beach ball craze is for Michael Cole to come out.
These beach balls.
And said, "These beach balls are great."
Oh yeah.
Put my face on them.
God, it would die in a
I just
second.
imagine they all stab the beach balls with like
I
knives.
was about to do coke after Instagram, but you know what? I would. But you know what? I'll just say it. I'd probably be the kind of asshole who'd buy a Michael Cole beach ball.
Of course you would.
And not even.
Only if it has the face he made when Jerry Lawler pulled his face against the coal mine.
No,
I'm trapped in a beach ball. Help.
No, see, I would want really smug face Michael Cole.
Also,
and I would just,
alternate title for this match.
shows.
Alternate title for this match: guys with beards.
Yeah. And okay with me.
Wait a minute. They can all join the Wyatt family.
No.
No, those are
No.
guys with big beards. There's a difference.
There's not enough beard. Sheamus is close, but there's not enough beard.
Yeah.
Also, he already
It's guys
has
with guys with trimmed beards. Okay, fine.
Also, he already has a pasty dude with a ginger beard. We don't know where he is, but
He's a
around.
vintner.
He's somewhere on SmackDown.
Apart from the already established members of the Wyatts, like or at least people who've been in it, you know, Luke Harper, Rollins, Braun Strowman, who do you think could fit into the Wyatt family?
Elias Sampson.
No.
No.
I'm not allowed. Rob, you will stop.
Big Damo.
He's a homeless man. How does he
Eric
Wyatt family?
Big Damo, I agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, I could see it if he drops the singing gimmick and it turns dark or something.
Yes, Bo Dallas. Actually, I've said that. Like, I like to that Bo Dallas has secretly, like, you know, trying to get people in the Wyatt family all along with like his smiles and stuff like that. Just doing it from the outside.
Bo Dallas is the recruiter.
Yes, exactly. He's the recruiter of the Wyatt
Have you
family.
thought about joining the Wyatt family?
Come meet me at this shed in Florida.
He just smiles at them till they agree.
Don't bring any loved ones.
Rob, I have 2 points about Elias Sampson I want to bring up. One, he's not homeless because he's in your house. He's a drifter. And two,
It's crashing.
He's not in my house.
he is.
Maybe
You
he
just
is.
Don't know it. Anyway, two, he's not a homeless man. He's just one of those douchebags you see at Starbucks.
Oh, so he's a hipster.
Yeah.
He's one of those homeless guys who's only homeless because he got kicked out of a shelter and now he just panhandles. But you just go see him buy a pizza.
He's like those people. He's like those guys. That,
Or he's like one of those people who panhandles and then you see him get into his fucking brand new Ford Mustang GT.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
He's like one of those guys that hangs around a university campus playing the guitar, trying to impress all the chicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he joins old dirty bastard who gets to the food bank in the limousine.
Yep.
He did that, by the way.
Yeah, yes he did. I remember that. But yeah. But back to the match.
Yeah.
Dynamic match. Like, you know, such, you know, hard hitting, you know, fast paced, just like the psychology in it.
There's
Like-
the only problem that with this match, and me and Mega Fighter both had it, is that Cesaro and Davis almost did the white noise and tender touch again.
Almost.
The white noise and gentle caress.
Yeah, the white noise and tender touch. And it's like, actually, that was the finish of the match, was preventing it with like just the most insane
Oh yeah,
dive.
I forgot. Like Rollins does like a head whip off the turnbuckle.
And knocks
my God.
Cesaro into Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
This match also goes to show why I love the Shield and why they're my favorite, because
Rob.
Okay, the bed is moving underneath me, and that is not good.
do you hear guitar music, by the way?
No. I decided it would be a fun idea to just, hang upside down for a change. I don't know why. I got bored.
This was not a good idea.
I'm kind of stuck like this now because the bed is on wheels and it's moving.
Why is your bed on wheels?
Stop it.
Because why
the
not?
bed frame is on wheels because
So I did have a complaint that it felt like Ambrose and Rollins had nothing to do over the past couple of months, but hey, they gave them something to do. They're champs now.
That
Yeah.
and it goes to show why the Shield is my favorite group, because the chemistry they have, despite not teaming together for 3 years, it's just like they've never not been teaming, you know?
Yeah.
It's just seamless. It's seamless.
It feels like Ambrose and Rollins have been re-energized.
Absolutely. Ambrose especially. Like, you know, Rollins had some bad stuff here and there, but he also had good stuff. Ambrose didn't really have much for a long time, and you could see that path, which that alone would have made this worth it for me.
With the Miz for like a year.
I just realized something, or I just remembered something from this match that I didn't like, which was the when like Sheamus and Cesaro did like a dual Irish cross high curse to
Yeah, they tried to do like
Ambrose.
They tried to do like.
Oh yeah, they did like a double team Irish cross, and it just was like, how does that hurt more than a regular Irish cross?
The problem is they couldn't get enough lift to really do it right.
They got pretty high with it, from what I remember.
It wasn't the height; it was the positioning that I think it looked really.
A little, but it wasn't too bad. I like
It's
the
just
height
that-
on it.
it's
It reminded
just-
me of like a.
It's just with Cesaro and Sheamus's really wide shoulders, they were just kind of fighting for space as they were trying to slam one of them.
Mm-hmm. But I did like the impact on it.
Guys, this was a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. Like top to
Fuck
bottom.
beach balls.
Yeah, fuck beach balls. I'm so happy. I couldn't have asked for more.
I actually have a beach ball in my house if you want me to get it.
Does it have Michael Cole's face on it?
No.
Know it, but it has America. I'll be right
That's
back.
even better. Yeah, 3
Hold on.
years later,
It's all for me.
I've waited 3 years for this, and absolutely worth the wait.
Yeah. Now, if only they come out with the Shield entrance.
If only
Reigns wasn't there.
If
It is
only-
not the Shield without them. I will fight you until the end of time on this.
Only
don't need-
had interfered in the main event.
They don't need
I did
that.
hope. I kind of hoped that happened, but it
They don't
didn't.
need that cheddar biscuit stealing motherfucker.
I don't care. I will buy cheddar biscuits and make them repair this relationship. Damn it.
Don't tell me you wouldn't have popped for them coming out for the ramp and shit.
Of course I would have popped, but
Or
at the same
coming out for
time,
the
like I
crowd.
said, I'm waiting for all three of them. To me, I mean, it's absolutely amazing with the two of them, and I've waited 3 years for it, but it's just not the Shield. I'd feel that way if it was, any other combination of two. That's how I felt when Reigns and Rollins were teaming together. I was happy about it, but it wasn't the Shield.
You mean Reigns and Ambrose?
No, Reigns and Rollins. They were working together on Raw a while back, too.
Look at me, I'm the WWE crowd. Woo!
Yeah, Beach Ball Mania. It's no longer running wild.
So let's move on. I think we've been talking all this a while. Let's move on and talk about AJ Styles versus Kevin. This match was
Versus
pretty-
Kevin.
this match was alright. I think
We
this
love you,
was a
Kevin!
case Where this isn't a case of the gimmick for it. It was that brought this match down. It was the storyline. I think that the story of this match that's brought this match.
Brought it down?
Yeah,
What?
it brought it down from being as better than from being as good as it. And
I didn't think it was brought
I
down.
felt like it was kind of lacking. It didn't feel. I have yet to see like a Aiden and Kevin Owens just like false finishes everywhere, like just going to town.
I thought that's what
putting
they
on,
had.
like a stellar match. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that was happening. I really enjoyed the match. I liked it, even with his. It made sense too.
I just haven't seen a 5-star caliber match, but do yet.
Oh, okay.
The-
So you're just upset because they haven't had a 5-star match in WWE.
The problem I had was this was like hour 4 into the pay-per-view, and I was getting so exhausted that I couldn't get excited for the match. I was burned.
Yeah, that's why I say they need to pull it back, because you feel fatigue after like a couple hours, and they're expecting.
They need to have like a really good match after a shit match to pretty much lift the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
But
No. Well, we're still on a good. This is still
Yeah,
a
it was.
match.
I think it was definitely a
I'm
good
not saying
match.
It was bad.
it was it wasn't bad. It's just I felt like I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you're not always going to get a 5-star match between people,
Especially with
definitely one of their better bouts.
especially with a gimmick, it's pretty much like if Shane's in the match, Shane has to get involved.
Yeah, I think considering that they had the gimmick, it was a really good match with the gimmick, and that's hard to do.
I wouldn't
'Cause it
say
easily
was
could have gone
as
downhill.
as a storyline, but
Same thing. That's what I mean. I'm just saying, despite that, it was still a really solid match.
By the way, I lobbed the beach ball down my hallway and it flew down the stairs somewhere.
Nice.
Shane McMahon as a referee was at least enjoyable in the way he just reacted to everything.
Yeah, and I like how he called some spots differently. Like, he could have started counting them, like, when they were both down sometimes, but he wanted to wait and kind of, check on them first. It's just those little touches I liked. Going with his gut versus,
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
so there is one thing that I'm not looking that I'm actually fearful for with this whole storyline because AJ Styles had his like Kevin Owens had another rematch on SmackDown which he lost. It was and he chose his own ref, which was Baron Corbin. But
Ooh, Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin said "fuck you both" and left, and then Shane started roughing the match again, and of course won. At this point, I'm thinking that they're gonna try it. They're probably at some, and this
Shane
is what I
versus
fear
Corbin.
is gonna do a KO versus Shane match.
Which I think would be amazing because, like, people like to shit on Shane, which gets me because they shit on him for, him facing AJ before WrestleMania happened, and then the match turned out great.
His punches
So-
still suck, though. I am not giving that talking point away.
Oh, no, his punches aren't great, but when it comes to the rest, he's really good. For someone who's not actually a wrestler, he's done some amazing things. Big spots and wrestling, because he even brought the wrestling against AJ. So he could definitely do it against Owens.
I did get to watch that match finally, and it actually was kind of fun. Like, it wasn't a fucking Wrestle Kingdom fucking explosion of wrestling. It was just like, it was the fun spots. Yeah.
I think it's more a case of that Kevin Owens be, wrestling other wrestlers, not like or general managers.
He'll get there.
If anyone
But
told me AJ Styles and Kevin Owens would fight constantly for a U.S. title in SmackDown, I'd be like, where's your TEW save?
Yeah, and the fact of that title being better than the WWE title right now, I'd be like, the fuck? But it's true.
Speaking of the WWE title,
Hold on.
Jinder Mahal versus
Hold on, I want one more thing to say about the U.S. title thing, which was Kevin Owens losing his shit at Shane for a ref bump, I think.
Yep.
I was like, what the hell was that? You fall off buildings and get back up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. That was one of my favorite moments in the match. That's why I love Field. That was such a great.
Kevin Owens is the master of shit talking, and I love him for it.
I do too. He's so fucking great at it. You fall off buildings, but you couldn't take a bump.
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
love that.
Now I think we can talk about the WB title.
So, feel free to vent. I'll leave this one to you. Also, because I have to go to the bathroom.
This is another case
Yeah, I'm also
where
gonna-
this match is okay for what it was. Like, it seems like Jinder Mahal, if he works with the right guy, he can put on passable the matches that are at least passable. I would hate to see him against, say, Big Show.
Oh god.
But
See, here's it's
the
sad.
problem with Jinder Mahal, and this is something Alec pointed out. He doesn't really have a moveset outside of his finisher. He doesn't have any signature moves.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I was for him at the beginning, like, at the very beginning, like, when he was, hunting around the title and things like that, messing with Orton. That stuff was good, but it's just at a point now where he shouldn't be champion. Like, he's just in a position where he shouldn't be champion.
And
Can we mention the fact that apparently on the pre-show he cut a promo for the match talking about America's xenophobia when he's booked against a Japanese guy who America loves?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
That's Vince right there, because, like I said, Vince is the one who threw that stuff in. Like, if you notice, like early on with Mahal stuff against Orton, he was, doing heel stuff, but it wasn't, America sucks, fuck America, things like that. But then once Vince threw his hat in there, then it suddenly became that.
I just love, like, you Americans, you hate everyone who's not your own. Oh, hi, my name is Shinsuke Nakamura.
So basically, what happens is I think Shinsuke has Mahal set up for the Kinshasa. The Singh brothers interfere. Jinder Mahal hits his finisher, the Colossus, and wins.
Yeah.
And this is after very minor, by the way, interference by the Singh brothers.
Yeah. Like, Jinder just can't get a clean win to save his life. Like, he's never going to become a legitimate
He
champion
shouldn't
ever.
have beat Shinsuke in the first place.
Well, he should never have beat Nakamura at all. That was just a fucking joke. But I'm saying even before that, when he was
The
facing...
feud's continuing.
I know, but I'm saying even before that, he hasn't had one clean win at all versus Orton or versus Nakamura. He's not.
This really does feel like...
There's being heel, and then there's being stupid, and that's just being stupid because he needs at least one fucking clean win to become a legit champion, and that's not happening.
You know what stuns me, and this is something that Ali pointed out when I kept bringing up how, like, you know, Baron Corbin getting punished for the bad match from Nakamura. But Baron Corbin is actually deep, you know, at least can wrestle.
Yeah, he's learning.
Fucking sucks. I'm sorry.
Like,
Why isn't he getting? Why is he still letting? Why are they still putting him with the fucking title when Shinsuke is over as fucking hell? This makes no fucking sense.
Ali actually put it to a test. He actually fought out this question. I don't. Is Ali back from peeing?
No? I don't think so. No.
Okay. But what he did was he actually watched the match and kind of like studied Mahal's moveset. And he... Oh, great. Ali, we were actually just talking about your thesis on Jinder Mahal and his wrestling style.
What?
How you watched Jinder Nakamura and you came to the conclusion about Jinder Mahal's moveset.
Yeah, what about it?
And how it's super fucking generic.
It strikes, rest holds, his shitty fucking slam that he does to win.
Yeah.
I will say he does rest holds better than Orton because at least he looks like he's trying to.
My problem is just we've done the ending to this match 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
Stings interfere. They beat him off. Not like that. Finisher. Jinder wins.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, he hasn't had one clean win yet. Like, at all. He's never going to look good as a champion or as just a competitor if he's never going to get a clean win against anybody.
And although people making the argument was like, well, heel, that's what they're supposed to do is
not all the time. Even other heels will get a clean win eventually.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
And the weirdest thing is they play him up like he's a badass and like someone you got to consider to be a actual challenge, but Seth Rollins had this exact run with J&J Security, and do you know how Seth Rollins played it? Everyone treated him like a coward because he was hiding behind his help.
Yeah, but that worked for him because he was playing it the right way versus Mahal, who they're trying to look.
And eventually
like
Rollins was like,
badass.
fuck you, I could take you on without them, and he had matches without them.
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing, even though that whole run with Rollins pissed me off, but at least he was...
It was consistent.
Exactly, it was the kind of heel that made sense with it.
At least his character made... his character with that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have Mahal have all this interference, but you're trying to make him look like a badass. It doesn't compute. If he was a badass, he wouldn't have to have interference.
And it just comes to this problem again where I do not think he is... I don't think he can do anything on TV. He cannot do any actions that make him look bad. Because with dubbed WWE in India to a 1.3 billion audience, he's the face. So he can't do anything underhanded, which makes his heel work look weak. He looks weak.
It doesn't help either, that's for sure.
I think, like, I've kind of slowly formulated a way better gimmick that could actually get him over as a heel to American audiences.
And it's not...
Instead of this Maharaja thing he's doing, have him just be like this obnoxious big money type player who's always talking about like how nice his suits are.
So he's Arya Daivari then.
So like a Daivari or a Ted DiBiase kind of thing, where he's like
that would work much better. I can totally get behind that.
It was just like I was in 3MB and then I went back to my home country and now I'm fucking rich. Yeah.
Make him literally make it this thing that he is somehow the Maharaja, like he's like a king.
He is a super king, and he you have to fight all his fucking peons before you actually have to face him. And he has like a throne.
That would work.
And he wears shit that's made out of gold and stuff.
Gold everything, baby.
Dude, you're like tricked out and bling. Like, don't do intense heel Jinder Mahal. Do cocky.
And also make sure he wears a shirt at all times.
Oh yeah.
He has like this film over him. It's weird. I don't know what it is.
Is it more of David Otunga brand body lotion?
It might be.
It's the baby oil. He borrowed it from Vince.
I wouldn't say he. I wouldn't
Make
say
this the shiniest SummerSlam they've ever seen.
And it's just making Nakamura seem like what he isn't, and that everything he isn't, and all he is, he's a badass. You got to make him look badass.
Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and he's losing out to Jinder Mahal like this. Are you kidding
Especially
me?
that fucking shitty Cobra Clutch into rock bottom thing he does.
The Cobra Clutch.
Yeah, it's the Colossus.
Yeah.
That's all he has going for him, and even that's not great. But it's all he has going. He doesn't have a good moveset.
I can barely lift the guy.
Yeah.
Slam.
And it sucks because he's trying really hard. And I can tell he's trying really hard, but he's just...
It's not all there.
He doesn't know what a main eventer should be doing. And that's with experience, but you can't just put him in that position. Hi, Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Like, part of it's learning on the job, but if you're still going through that and you're not getting better, that says something.
You know what? Have a feud with The Miz. Or have a feud with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Have a feud over the U.S. title.
There you go.
I'm looking at Jinder Mahal's moveset. He apparently had a finishing move that sounded that sounds actually fucking like it.
The Sands of Time?
Fucking better. Yeah, the Sands of Time. A fireman's carry double knee gut buster. That sounds.
That's
better
kind of
than
cool, actually.
That would be much better. I would like
Darren
that.
Young's finisher?
Darren Young
Think so?
is not here.
No, he's coming back, but no one really cares.
The whole
That's
let's
not-
make Darren Young great again, totally timely.
Yeah.
That turned out great.
Yeah, that turned out swell. Oh god, just like that non-finish, like, I don't even want to think about that. What was it with The Miz? That was just god-awful.
The first time I saw the Colossus, I thought it was like the move he does before he does his finishing move.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what I was thinking.
And
like,
then he pinned Randy Orton, and I'm like, wait, he won off that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It is fireman's carry, double knee gut buster, the Sands of Time, and the gut check by Darren Young.
Oh wow, yeah.
What the fuck?
That would be much better.
I mean, I guess since Darren Young's not doing anything, they may as well let him use it again.
I mean, Darren Young's coming back, but I mean, they can always get a move.
By the
But
way,
Jinder desperately
Mahal
needs
has
something.
has a really weird named entrance theme for his first ever entrance theme that he used. Main Yash Hoon. The hell was that?
It's probably Hindi.
It's probably Punjabi, yeah.
Probably
Hindi or Punjabi.
Yeah.
No, but it sounds weird.
Indians are weird.
Apparently,
This
it's
is
in
our
a different
daily
language.
dose of xenophobia.
Okay,
Sponsored by Heat
USA, USA, USA.
USA.
Shinsuke is fighting for America and all the southern.
No, my question is, how the fuck did India spin it? We hate Asians.
No, right?
Even though we're technically in Asia.
They're
Whatever.
Asians too, though.
Yeah.
Like, we hate ourselves.
I can't in any way imagine.
This match was short. It was disappointing. It made Jinder look like he has no idea what he's doing, and any match where Shinsuke isn't amazing is not a good match.
Yeah, and that's not his fault either.
It seems like they're saving some of the big title changes for like the lesser pay-per-views.
It's
that aren't
SummerSlam.
the big four, and I don't know why.
This would have been the time to move the WWE
This is-
title off of Jinder.
This is
would have been the time.
This is the Australian WrestleMania.
Essentially, yeah. It's one of the big four. I would have been absolutely fine. It would have made sense, to have a title change here.
Fucking paper champion gets to keep his belt at SummerSlam.
For
Yeah.
no reason.
Speaking of paper champions,
Speaking of paper champion.
Oh yeah.
we've awoken Rob because it's time to talk about this fatal four-way.
Which, by the way, with no context, really good.
Oh,
really good.
This was actually a fine match.
It was a bunch of guys running into each other and throwing shit. I love that.
And I loved it.
It was a case of like the first bit of this match, the first half of this match was like just chaos.
Vince McMahon had to be admitted to the hospital by watching 5 seconds of this match from just all the big sweaty men involved.
Let me sum up this match by summing up what each of these men did. Braun Strowman ran up, threw everyone everywhere, through everything.
He threw everyone through everything.
Yes, he did.
And he especially beat the shit out of Brock.
Which I was happy about.
Roman Reigns. Ooh ah.
Ooh ah. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Also smug as fuck, and I liked it.
By the way, does he have to do ooh ah before every spear?
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
It gives him more power, don't you know?
I think that prevented him from winning this match.
Gives me another
Yeah,
bonus.
I did love the spot where Samoa Joe was choking someone out, and then out of the corner of his eye, he sees Roman Reigns and just gets the fuck out of the way, and Roman Reigns just spears him through a barricade.
That was
Joe's
great.
just like,
Samoa Joe's just standing there.
woo!
Like, well, dodge that one.
Yeah, it goes to show the IQ, the ring IQ that Joe has, which he doesn't get enough credit for because he's so fucking smart.
I feel like Joe wasn't used that much in the ending part of the match.
Joe wasn't used in much of this match in general, I think.
Well, I was gonna sum up. Joe interrupts the throwing people around segments
With strangling.
And it was great.
And then
It looks like you're tired of throwing people around, Braun. Maybe if I strangled you a bit.
and then Braun Strowman. Excuse me, not Braun Strowman again.
A second Braun Strowman.
A second Braun
I'd
Strowman.
watch that.
I've watched that.
Brock Lesnar gets the ever-loving shit kicked out of him. Absorbs more offense than any man should reasonably take.
Leaves the match.
Comes back and wins.
Okay.
Yeah, but to be fair to him, he sold that fucking beating like a champ. Like he didn't just sell it. He sold that like he was, fucking.
Why does Brock have to?
PJ.
Why does Brock have to be stretchered out in every longer match just so he can take a 5?
Hey, PJ.
What?
You said that he took it like a champ.
Go away, Cactus.
Yeah. Fuck off.
My problem with this match is you book a match with 3 guys who
are all making the same face. I just realized.
who all can beat.
They all can eat.
I wonder if I could. I wonder if I could switch their faces around.
Please, please do.
Also, you get 3 guys.
Copy paste. Broad.
Could reasonably beat Brock Lesnar in one-on-one matches. All 3 of them could.
All 3 of them could beat Brock Lesnar in one-on-one matches.
Yes.
And then you put them all together.
And you put them all together, and somehow, after Brock gets the ever-loving shit kicked out of him, he still wins.
Yeah, but they showed he got lucky doing that. It wasn't like before with Joe where Joe did all the offense and then Brock did the 1 F5 and that was it. No, Brock had to do a lot more in this match than he did versus Joe.
I'm not talking about work ethic, Lesnar. I'm talking about booking.
Suplex, F5, suplex, F5.
This was the time to get the championship off of Brock, and they didn't do it.
Speaking of suplex.
F5.
Well, go ahead and finish what
I was gonna say the reason why. Well, I can see why they hadn't win this time though, because they wanted that mystery of because everybody thought he was gonna lose and go to UFC, and then they did that to swerve people.
That went great.
Well, now they're gonna need him, aren't they?
He no longer has a UFC match, right?
Well, now UFC's
John
gonna
Jones
need him.
got busted.
Yep.
Don't do steroids.
Yeah, don't do steroids, children.
Seriously, Dana White, can you please just fire this guy?
He's probably going to
suspended for 4 years, so
burn you twice
pretty much
now.
has. Anyways.
Twice now.
Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Talk about SummerSlam.
speaking of suplexes,
Suplex
how about
F5.
him trying to suplex Braun and failing?
I like that. It sold Braun as more of a legitimate badass, you know. Team
Also,
that
he's
built
heavy.
Up with Braun. No, he is, but he got up Joe. And Joe is, you know,
About as heavy.
Well, he's stockier too,
Well,
which
the
makes
thing
it
is,
harder
no,
to lift.
So,
No, I think Braun's
Phoenix,
heavier in
what's your-
beard weight.
Phoenix, what you're
It's a lot of beard you're dealing with right now.
Phoenix, what you're trying to say is that he's fat.
He's fat!
No,
I said he's stockier because he's shorter.
Look, what I'm saying is that Braun hasn't beat out in beard weight. Now, speaking of Braun, we need to, of course, talk about the best spot. Well, best spot in the match, which was Braun Strowman puts Brock Lesnar through 2 tables and then puts a table through Brock Lesnar.
I love that. It's like, what's he going to do with this 3rd table? Just put it on him.
The table.
Though, the only downside, and it's not his fault, those tables look like shit.
Oh my
Ladies
god.
and gentlemen, your new Universal Champion, the table.
The table.
Yeah,
He
I
did
mean,
hold
the
them down
table
for
did
free.
pin him.
yeah.
Yeah,
But come on, those running power slams are so fucking good, and
It's
he
just
just makes it look so easy.
It's Impact, man. Fucking Impact.
Yeah, he knows how to sell those like a champ. Like I said, British Bulldog would be so proud of him because those are just amazing.
The new Universal Champion.
I don't think
table
Brock
has to go
Lesnar
fight.
needed to sell those because if you look at his back, like there is like a sizable bruise.
Thanks for
Oh yeah,
clarifying that.
Brock sold those really hard.
I'll try and tell the joke anyways.
Hmm.
The new Universal Champion of the announce table must now face former DDT Pro Champion, the
Ladder?
ladder.
Yes.
No.
In a chairs match.
You're going too fast here, Rob. You're going too fast here, Rob. That's December booking. We've still got many months to go.
So, I think one of the problems with Brock Lesnar not showing up that often with the title is just there absolutely has to be something that can fill the gap of not having a main title picture like 2 out of 3 times per pay-per-view, but they don't have anything to fill that gap. Like, I think Miz brought it up in one of his promos that just he could make that IC title a main event, but they won't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, he said that on Raw. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, which is true because if you
It
look at
needs to be
before-
it needs to be a main event level title, so we don't feel like something's missing when Brock's not there.
Exactly, because they're doing that with
we
the
could
U.S.
not-
title on SmackDown. I know.
We could just not put the title on the bar.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I'm working with what we got,
Yeah, which is
he
what we're
pretty
dealing with
much-
right now.
Vince pretty much said that he has the most important title on Raw.
He does.
Now,
Well,
if they just treated it that way, I'd be a lot more okay with what Brock's doing.
which makes me all the more mad because you see all the work that SmackDown did months ago to make the Intercontinental title such an amazing title with him and Ziggler, and then the moment they throw him back on Raw, they just make it useless again. Like all that work was just
It's
down
just
the
a
drain
belt
for
he
nothing.
has.
Yeah, versus being important again, and I hate that.
Didn't he make a promo about that a year ago also?
Yeah, but the thing was, then it became an important title because SmackDown they, put him and Ziggler through
I'm sorry.
everything amazing.
I'm sorry, Miz. You'll have to revitalize the title every year with a half-shoot promo if you want it to stay important. No.
Apparently, it's like damn.
Also, Braun Strowman throwing chairs will always pop it.
I just loved when they were fighting and just a random chair flew into them.
I know.
And then
Oh
it
my
panned
God.
over and it was just Braun looking like his face was going to explode. Like,
I popped so hard for that. That was
Yeah,
so
I
fucking
loved
great.
I loved him throwing the commentary chair again, and I want there to be a chairs match where they use swivel chairs.
just Braun needs the title. He needs to get the title and then have the title and then kill people.
I hope he really wins it at No Mercy. 'Cause, like, if you're not a fan of Braun Strowman, especially after the stuff he's been doing
The hell is
lately,
wrong
He's
with
my
you?
favorite
What?
big man, and I don't
Me too.
like big men.
like
You don't like big sweaty men?
Well, I mean, in wrestling, not really.
the
I was gonna
improvement.
say, do you prefer twinks?
I'm dating one. Yeah.
The improvement he's had in I'm trying to talk.
Sorry.
The improvement he's had in just 2 years from where he started with the Wyatt family, where he was so green and he just you didn't think he had anything going for him. He would, he wouldn't get anywhere because, to be fair, it looked like he wasn't going to go anywhere then. But then he just kept improving and improving, and just like the sky's the limit with him now.
Anyway,
he is so good.
Anyway,
have sex?
Anyway, Rollins.
Strowman or James Ellsworth?
Anyway, Rollins wins best twink, so whatever.
Oh, I mean, yeah, without a doubt.
I just wanted to say I really like Braun Strowman too, and this is coming from someone who was not who hated him getting put into a squash program after already being in a squash program.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. You hate squash matches. I still want to know.
No, it's not.
Squash matches are fine as long as they're contextual.
Again,
As long as they serve a purpose.
Hang on. I've softened my of squash match when they. I understand what they're used for, and I have less problem with them when they're used right. It's just that I just think that a lot of times they're used in place at times when they don't need to be, and it's just like a case of he was already in a squash program with the Wyatts, and then when he went solo, was in another
he got
program.
repackaged after the brand split.
Yeah, and they had to reestablish him as a competitor because he hadn't been up to that point.
And he had to get his own gimmick that wasn't part of the Wyatt family.
Yeah, which I understand.
Which he has, which is big scary guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys who got squashed by Braun Strowman, I restate my question. Who would you rather have sex with, James Ellsworth or Braun Strowman?
Wait, did you say James Ellsworth or Braun Strowman?
Yes.
That's not even a hard question.
That's not a hard question.
Strowman.
Well, Ali said
Strowman, obviously.
Ali said he didn't like big 20 men.
Well,
You gotta make an exception for Strowman, though.
There is one problem with both wrestlers. Like, it depends on which face they use when they're.
if Braun uses his bug-eyed pout while he's having sex with him, I'm probably gonna leave.
Here's the thing. I don't think that James Ellsworth is any bit exciting in bed. Besides, he prefers to watch.
Well, I mean,
in the closet.
He's a voyeur.
I'm pretty sure sex with Braun Strowman could lead to death, so I'm not.
Yeah, but what a fun way to go.
I don't know. I'll rein him with the beard.
He somehow power slams you while still penetrating you.
I call this move the power. I call this move the power. I call this move the power slam. What do you do with that? He fucking power slams you down the stairs.
I don't know. Braun Strowman, it feels like you could have that nice beard control going for you.
Beard control. The next staple.
But again,
I'd rather not have an office chair thrown at me. Engaged in sexual.
Don't have office chairs in your bedroom, Rob.
And don't fuck in an ambulance.
He'll tip something over.
Or Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns will steal it.
So the Braun Strowman's style of sex isn't like S&M where you're just like, oh, ooh, ow. Oh,
it's affectionate
it's
manhandling.
Oh my god, he's trying to kill me.
Oh no.
It's affectionate ragdolling.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh
no, he's going all in.
SummerSlam
It was kind of in the middle. Why did Barry Rusev?
Let's
some great spots, some bad spots, some what the fuck spots.
It was a roller coaster of quality.
Let's quick mention that NXT TakeOver beat the complete pants off it as it.
Oh my god.
Go Drew McIntyre.
Yay!
And the women's match was the best match of the night. The only problem is that
Asuka got hurt.
She'll be out like a few weeks.
Hurt, and honestly, if they do they not have, I'm assuming they don't they have the capability to for the refs to communicate that?
I think Asuka probably said she wanted to finish the match first.
Well, I don't have a problem with her finishing the match. I'm just I'm just saying,
They probably have a quick way.
The minute they communicated that, they should have changed the plans to have her drop it.
No.
Nah.
There's too much of a build-up. Plus, she's not going to be gone long enough to warrant her stripping the title. Plus,
6 to 8 weeks.
With all the build-up, with all the build-up they've been doing with her as the unbeatable Empress, to have her just drop the title would be such a
also
waste.
With the pre-taped way NXT works and the fact that takeovers are usually 2 to 3 months apart, she could show up on TV in just a normal outfit and not wrestle and cut promos. And then when she feels better, she can wrestle at the next takeover.
There's one problem, other problem that I had with this match is that
what match?
The women's match. And that,
we're looking at 3 neutral men and Braun Strowman.
Somebody pointed this out. She hit everyone hit the Eclipse and didn't win.
Yeah.
Well, Asuka's tough.
I'm just saying, NXT is generally good about protecting their finisher.
Asuka's really tough. She beat the entire NXT women's division by herself.
They know when to protect. Yeah, they know when to protect moves, but they know when to not. This is the perfect time not to protect that move because it goes to show and continues to show why Asuka is that badass. She is the badass. It's why she's the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion, longest reigning NXT Champion, period. Longest reigning current champion in the modern era that WWE's had.
Asuka, her plot line is she's pretty much beyond what most female wrestlers can do right now. And they gotta find someone who can either do it or step up and do it.
Exactly. So, so Ember not winning off the Eclipse makes perfect sense. If anyone could do that, it'd be Asuka.
Well, I just the thing is, NXT has been good about protecting the
and when they get someone who can beat her, she'll be super over.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the thing. I mean, the main show is it's starting to protect finishers. The problem is the way they're doing it. They're not choosing the right times to protect their finishers. Like the Jinder Mahal match, the Brock match with Joe. You need more damage done before you just bust the finisher out and win. I'm sorry. It just won't work.
Night.
That's Rob leaving for the C show.
Yep.
Thanks, Roger.
But that was...
No.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the general gist of SummerSlam. We can talk about TakeOver another time.
It was good.
Yes, very good. SummerSlam.
All the matches were good. The band was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's another thing
I follow them on Spotify.
That's one of the things we should mention is that they use the band to hype the wrestling, which is what WWE doesn't seem to understand when it comes to their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Can we go back to rock and metal music? Because that's good wrestling music.
Yes, it is.
Use the music in service of the wrestling, not just to have a fucking concert.
Exactly, and that absolutely got you hyped for the pay-per-view because I was already excited for TakeOver, but that just got me all the more pumped up for it. Metal, rock and metal is the perfect foil for wrestling. They go together perfectly.
It's fighty music for fighty things. Fighty.
Yeah, it works so well.
Sometimes rap can be fighty, but not all the time.
Yeah, you just gotta pick and choose with that.
I was generally surprised though, when they started playing Aleister Black's theme, I was like, what's going on? And then when they played it again after the Black match, I was like, oh. So they've been doing his theme this whole time. I just didn't know.
No, Code Orange was.
That's their bit.
Code Orange was covering the music, but the singer from the punk band that the singer from the punk band was a guest feature.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really like the fact that they had that music out for Aleister Black.
The band is called Incendiary, so look that up.
Yeah, they're really good. It really drove home the fact of Aleister Black being, But yeah, top to bottom, TakeOver was amazing. Completely outshined SummerSlam in every way.
Because Triple H gets it.
Yep. And
it's like someone. I wish I had it pulled up because our good friend Riddler, who we haven't heard in a while, has one of the best descriptions of what Triple H gets wrestling.
Because he's wrestled.
Well, no. To be fair, there's people who have wrestled that still don't understand the product that well. Because I mean, just look at people like John Laurinaitis and people like that.
And what he was said is like considering like he's gonna have kind of like this bad stigma on him forever because of what he because of burying people and because he's he's in him with the boss daughter, but like he seems to know how to structure a wrestling show.
Well, the thing is, from what I heard from interviews, is he was very curious and he was very like super interested and passionate about wrestling. Like he just go around backstage and just see what everyone was doing and how they did it and how to do it right.
Yeah. Well, also the thing about Triple H is the people who like him best now are the people who know how he used to be. Because, yeah, Triple H back in the day was a complete asshole. Like, anybody will tell you that. He buried people so badly. But he grew up and he changed and he became this amazing person. And, you could really tell he has such passion for wrestling. But not just for wrestling itself, but for the wrestlers that work under him. And he wants to see them succeed, which is such a great thing to see. And he's so good at it. He listens... Unlike Vince, he listens to the people that work with him, like, Regal or, whoever else. And that's what makes NXT an infinitely better product than the main roster.
Please don't fuck us, Braun Strowman. Good night.
Good night.